Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
We are going to recap The Valley, Season 2, Episode number 7, Ring Around the Rumor. So we start out with Jasmine driving in the car talking to her girlfriend about what Danny did and
On Halloween.
For
the 20
and Danny said to her, like, why do you keep bringing this up? Like, I apologize to you. And she said, well, this happened to me and I can bring this up until the day I die. Those were her exact words.
And I'm pretty sure she's going to.
I think she is. Because, I mean, how many times during this episode did she bring it up?
Too many. And before I forget to mention this,
Mm-hmm.
I think we talked about it. I'm not sure. Did you watch The Bachelor?
I didn't watch The Bachelor, but no, I didn't. But yeah,
Okay.
we didn't talk about this. You and I talked about it, but I don't think we mentioned it on here.
Okay, so Nick Vile, and I had no idea. I just happened to like his podcast. He was a bachelor.
Yeah, I did know
And
that.
his season, Jasmine from the Valley was on.
That I did
And
not know.
I saw a clip. I don't know if it was the first night. I don't know if it must have been early on in the season because there were a lot of girls there. I don't know if it was the first night or not, but she was trying to get his attention. She could not. And she went to interrupt him while he was talking to somebody. And he very graciously was like, oh, you know what? I do want to talk to you, but I'm just going to finish this conversation. Well, she went into a bit of a tailspin over it. I only saw a clip. Like I said, I didn't watch it. So if any of our listeners watched it and have more information on it, please let us know. I just thought it was real interesting that she was on that because that had to be a while ago.
It definitely had to be a while ago. And we do know that Jasmine is from Jersey, right? She's a Jersey girl.
Her girlfriend is. I don't know if
it's her
she
girlfriend.
is.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. That's what it is. Okay. So her girlfriend's from Jersey. So I guess she's fluid with her sexuality if she was on The Bachelor.
I think she said that when we met her on the Valley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like, who cares? But
of course, yeah.
I mean, this storyline that she has going on the Valley is just ridiculous.
Yeah, put it to bed, man. Put it
Yeah.
to bed. He apologized. What?
More
what
than
more
once.
do you want him to do?
More than once.
And it was one incident. I mean, sweet Marie.
Yeah.
I just don't think the punishment is fitting the crime, personally.
No, I don't either. I really don't. So then we see she picks up Zach. We find out he had just been on a road trip with his on-again, off-again boyfriend, Benji. He met the parents, and they had a serious conversation about the relationship and where it's going. But do we know what the result of it was? Did he tell us?
Well, he said that they're going to be boyfriends.
Right.
Oh, no, he said that they are not officially boyfriends, but Jasmine said, well, he's still married. And he's like, he's still married.
Right. Yes. And he said we never hard launched on Instagram because we weren't sure where it was going. And then Jasmine said, well, he's married. And Zach said, oh, yeah, he's married.
Yeah.
Well, that would be a problem.
And I loved when Zach was like, you picking me up from the airport proves that, or they said it, us doing this, us picking you up proves that we love you. No, it doesn't. It proves that you wanted more camera time.
That's exactly what that proves.
You needed another scene.
Yeah.
And you still talked about the damn Halloween story.
Yes.
Here was your opportunity to not, and you still did it.
Yeah. She is just screaming thirsty.
Get her some water.
Yeah, exactly. Next we see Nia and Michelle. They meet up with their kids, Isabella and Asher. And they're talking about what happened the night before when all the girls got together and Nia was telling them about, her history and, being homeless. And she wants to know, what happened after she left. And Michelle said, well, the only thing is that Jasmine got really emotional about what happened with her and Danny. I'm like, oh, okay, now it's again. Now it's again, right? Michelle starts talking about how Isabella said to her that something like, I know you and Daddy were married, but if you wanna get married again, you can, and then he'll have to come to the wedding if you wanna marry,
Aaron?
Aaron. Yeah. And I was like, "Ooh, that's a little
She is
that's."
a very smart little girl.
I mean, she's only 4, right?
Yeah, but she's probably thinking, like, they don't get along, and here her mom is with this other guy, and she seems so happy, so it's like, "It's okay, you can be happy, but
Right,
then you have to include daddy so,
right.
we can all be good." Like, she's
Yeah,
very smart.
she really is. I mean, I think honestly, she might be the brains of this whole relationship
Oh,
here,
the whole operation. She is the brains of the whole operation.
right? The 4-year-old's running the show.
Yes, yes.
And then we see Jason meets up with Luke and Danny at a place called Heavy Handed where they have burgers, ice cream, and beer. Sounds like a great combination.
Oh, those burgers looked good.
They did. They
Yeah.
really did. And they're talking about, well, Jason is talking about how Danny fell asleep on the trip and making a big deal about it that he was so drunk. And Jason, listen, you know what? I was taking a nap. I was going to take a nap, whether I was drinking or not. Like I had worked and I was tired. And he's like, well, Janet told me that you were like swigging tequila in the closet with the door closed. And he's like everyone was swigging tequila. Like,
Yeah,
what
I
is
took
the
a
big
shot.
deal? Right.
Yep, I took a shot.
And he's like, well, Janet thought you were hiding it. And Danny said, well, I wasn't drunk. And Jason said, well, you were drunk enough that you couldn't make dinner.
And he said Janet felt uncomfortable. Who
Right.
fucking cares? She's
Right.
not married to him.
Yeah.
Who
Exactly.
cares if Janet felt uncomfortable?
Exactly.
Get it together, Janet.
And then Luke, I like that Luke said this. Luke said, listen, I heard Danny say to me that, wake me up in an hour to Nia. And Nia's like, I'm going to let him sleep.
Yes, I was so glad that Luke had his back on this.
Yes. Yes. Listen, she's the one that can make that call. It's her husband, right? If she wants to let him sleep, she can let him sleep. Like, what do you care?
Whether he was drunk and she was going to let him sleep or he was tired and she was going to let him sleep. They have 3 kids, 3 and under. If he wants to sleep and she wants to let him sleep, so be it.
Right. Exactly.
And listen,
Exactly.
if you got a friend who won't shut the fuck up about something that happened almost a year ago when your husband was drunk, and you sense that he might be drunk and said friend is there,
Yeah.
let
Let's
him
keep him
sleep.
away. Yeah.
Because God
Exactly.
forbid he winks at her or something. We'll be hearing about that for the next year.
Yep. And then Jason brings up that Jasmine still has PTSD from Halloween.
The 3rd scene of the show, we're talking about this stupid Halloween
Yep.
story.
He's like, you don't know about that? And Danny said, yeah, but I apologized to her already. And Jason said, well, she still feels a way about it. What? Are you kidding me? Jason says to him, I don't feel like you took full responsibility.
How does
He
he know?
he apologized. What does he need to do? How is it he needs to take full responsibility? So,
Maybe he needs to give her his firstborn.
right. Yeah.
Maybe that will wipe the slate
Yeah.
clean.
I mean, or maybe his 4th now at this point,
Maybe
right?
give her the
The
4th.
4th.
You're not
Yeah.
attached to this one yet.
Yeah. So Danny's saying, like, what are you talking about? Like, now he starts questioning his friendship with Jason. Like, why is he getting involved in this?
He should be questioning his friendship with Jason because quite honestly, Jason is only there to do his wife's dirty work.
Yeah.
And doesn't he seem like too smart for that?
He really does. But like,
He's
I mean,
not.
we've said this before. He's a puppet to her.
For sure.
He is her puppet. Like, and it's sad because I liked him
Me
without
too.
her.
Me too, but he's just there doing her dirty work. I have no respect for him now.
Yeah. I mean, Danny said, like, you're coming at me like I have a drinking problem. And I don't think that's cool, man. And Jason said, well, I disagree. And Danny was like, well, that's the lawyer in you,
Mhm. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I would question that friendship too, Danny.
And I'm glad Danny said it to his face.
Yeah, for sure.
That's one of the things I do like about these guys is that like they will call it out
Yeah. I
to
mean, that's
them.
just a guy thing in general, I think.
Well, it is, but not Jax. Like Jax wouldn't have done that.
No, of course not. Or
So
Jesse.
right. So now we see it's day 17 with Jax is in treatment and he is crying,
With
doing
no
his
tears like Tamara.
yeah, that he gets to see his son today and that is the only, thing that's important to him and that's all that he cares about and he misses him so much and he's everything to him. Okay.
Right.
You've been a cokehead for 10 years.
Right.
And now all of a sudden,
Now.
17 days into rehab? Now?
While
Okay.
you're still rage texting, Brittany?
Yeah. Yeah. Then we see Brittany is at her rental house with her mom, and her son Cruz is there, and she's going to be having a party. I like this at her rental house.
Mhm.
And Janet's mom and her mom are going to be watching their kids at her regular house so that she can, have fun and party. Listen, I don't think she needed to explain all that to us, but okay.
I'll tell you what, a lot of people I agree with you. I agree
Mm-hmm.
with you. But a lot of people on social media are calling her out for the amount of partying she does. I don't agree with it. I don't I don't co-sign that at all,
Yeah.
but I have seen it on social media where people are definitely coming at her for the amount of partying.
Listen, she is doing fine, and I don't think she needs to explain it to us. That's what I have to say.
And she has a good support system. She's not passing her kid off to just anybody. Her mom's there. She has a nanny she trusts,
Right. Exactly.
She's
Exactly.
on a TV show. She's filming a TV show there, and it's based on people who typically like to party. So there's an amount of partying that she has to do.
And you know what? It was an adult situation that Cruz
Sure.
did not need to be at. So
No.
it's that simple. Then we find out that I thought that Jax was going to see Cruz at the rehab. I didn't realize that he was going to meet Cruz in the park.
I got to be honest with you. I do not think Jax went to rehab. I don't know where he went, but it wasn't a rehab because he's got his phone, he's going to the gym, and he's going to a park to see his son. That's not rehab. That's
Yeah.
not any rehab I know anybody to go to.
No, I mean, nothing in Jersey would be like that.
No,
No.
absolutely not. So
I
I don't
was
know where he
shocked.
went.
I was shocked to hear that they met at the park and that, you know, he wanted to talk to Brittany afterwards and, wanted, Brittany to talk, I guess, with the therapist too. No, the therapist comes to the park with him? I don't know.
Again, is it a therapist? Is it Jesse's life coach that just yeses them to death? I mean,
Then we find out that I guess he was spying on her with the cameras in the house. And like, that's just crazy. Come.
this is very toxic
Yes.
behavior. This is
Yes.
really toxic behavior.
Yes. And that he signed a lease to move in next to Schwartz.
But he wants to start dating her again.
Right. And she's like, hell no. No.
God, don't do it, Brittany. For the
Yeah.
love of God.
No. Then we see Danny meets up with Jasmine and her girlfriend at Lawless. And he's paying for everything. And, he wants to make sure that everything is okay between them because Jason made it seem like it was a problem.
And by the way, Melissa looks just as bored with this conversation as we do.
Yeah,
I
she
think
does.
Melissa is over the conversation, quite honestly.
Yeah. I mean, but this gets Melissa all this airtime.
It does. It does. She doesn't even seem to want it, though. I think she's just doing this for Jasmine, which is nice, a nice girlfriend thing to do. But I don't know.
Yeah. So Danny starts out with, last year at Jax's Halloween party, it was, the worst night of my life. And as soon as I found out what I had done, I apologized to you. And Jasmine's like, well, it brings up feelings for me because being in a relationship with a woman, like I go through this on a daily basis. Like if I was in a relationship with a man, like this would have been a different conversation.
We said it last week.
Right.
We totally
Right.
agree with her. She has a valid point. And I do think that when she said it, like it clicked for Danny. And he
Yes.
was like, okay.
Yes, he did. He even acknowledged it. Like I never looked at it that way. And she says, "Listen, you've already apologized. I don't need another apology. I just need you to know, how this made me feel. I still want to be a part of your life. I just don't I don't want to have to bring this up, but meanwhile she's bringing it up every freaking scene. Not alone.
So much.
It's like, are you kidding me?"
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This is the podcast where parenting meets pop culture, true crime gets side-eyed between Little League baseball games, and aging millennials and Gen Xers laugh their way through life's latest chaos.
From celebrity scandals to learning life's lessons the hard way, we tackle it all with sarcasm and humor. Think of it as your group chat in audio form. Start listening to our podcast called Populore on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Like, it's too much. You're doing too much with the Halloween story.
Yeah. Yeah, really. It really is too much. So then
It seems that she has finally accepted his 20th apology and we can move on.
But no, we can't, because at the end of the episode, when we see Still to Come, it gets brought up again.
Oh, it does?
Yes.
I must not have seen that.
Yes, at the end of the episode, when
Wishful
we see
thinking.
Yes, no, you would think, but no, it is not done. It's really exhausting.
Are they going to have a reunion for this? Because if Andy doesn't bring up the ridiculousness of the amount of times we talked about this, I'll be very disappointed.
Yeah, me too.
I wonder if Andy would even do a reunion for this show.
Well, they didn't do one last year.
I know. But I thought we heard...
Wait, no, they filmed it. They filmed it.
Yeah, because you said there was a lineup. So Andy did it?
Yes, he did the reunion. They filmed it already. They filmed it. So listen, this better be a topic.
For sure.
Then we see Kristen and Luke are out and Jesse meets up with them. Luke said people are unreasonably upset with Danny not being at dinner. I'm glad that Luke brought this up because, again, Luke had Danny's back. I mean, I think it's probably because Kristen has Nia's back.
I do too. But that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
But Jesse didn't seem like he's like, I don't know nothing about anybody and anything. And like, he didn't seem like he wanted to, I felt like he could have defended Danny too and been like, yeah, he's fucking tired. Like he worked, he drove, kids and.
Right.
But no, he wasn't.
No,
he's just
he wasn't.
a selfish prick, Jesse. He's not going to stick up for anybody.
He is. I mean, even the fact that, in the beginning of the season, he was like befriending Kristen when he had such a problem with her last season, right? And all of a sudden he's going to be her friend and he's not. That was just all show. I mean, I think we heard Michelle talk about it, that he had everything planned out. He plans every scene he goes to. This is his job.
You could tell. You can tell.
You definitely can tell. You can definitely tell. I mean, it's supposed to be reality. It's not reality for Jesse. It is scripted, and he's the one writing the script.
Yes, yes.
Kristen brings up that when Jason goes out, he takes off his wedding ring. And then Jesse's like, well, are there rumors of him cheating? And Kristen's like, well, I've not heard any of that, but Jesse doesn't think that this is something that should be brought up. Well, of course he doesn't. I mean, because,
He probably never wore his wedding ring.
Yeah, he probably didn't, right? Right. And Kristen says, well, the only reason I brought it up is because they're really, being judgmental of Danny and Nia's relationship. And I don't think that that's right. And then Luke in his confessional is like, this is really something Kristen should have never brought up. But,
here we are.
It's going to cause unnecessary drama. But that's what Kristen does. And I mean, Luke has been around long enough to know that that's what his girlfriend/fiance does. That's what she does.
Listen, I back her on this one. I mean, I back her on it. If Janet and Jason are going to be pointing fingers that somebody took a nap.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring it up. You don't wear your wedding ring when you go out.
Right.
At least you have to, well, you don't have to, but you're at least going to defend yourself.
Right. Well, she's defending Nia. It wasn't even herself that she's defending, right?
I'm saying Jason. Like,
yeah.
He at least has to be like, well, he doesn't have to. But
right. Ask him the question, right?
Yeah, ask him the question and
right.
Put, make him be accountable for something.
Right. Right. Then we see Zach shows up at Brittany's shark party with his swim trunks have Brittany's face all over it. I thought that was cute.
Do you know Terry buys those for Anthony? I think she's gotten him a pair of shorts and a pair of pants, but her picture.
Oh my God, that's so funny. And I bet he wears them.
Of course.
Proudly.
And then he puts a picture of it in the group chat, in the Griswolds group chat.
Oh, good. Good. That's so funny. And then Zach is getting his shark bite makeup put on so he can really get into this theme completely. I mean, he takes the theme.
The flashbacks of all of his costumes, and he has spray on abs. And
yes.
with every costume.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a spray on ab.
I've gotten airbrushed hands and never once thought to put abs on myself. And
There
I
you go.
think I might do it next time.
Maybe I can get an airbrush tan and they can get rid of my cellulite. Like, what would we put there? Like on my thighs, what would we put there? Muscles? I mean, I don't know. We got to do
We'll
something.
figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah. We got to figure something out.
Yeah.
So then we see Jason in his confessional says that, he's nervous to see Danny, which I'm glad to hear that, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. And when he gets there, he pulls Danny aside and says, listen, can we talk? Right. And he apologizes,
Mm-hmm.
which I think was the right thing to do. I was very glad to see that.
He said he was losing sleep over their conversation, which
Yeah.
I'm like that. If I, am worried about something, I have a hard time sleeping. So I felt for him, but I'm glad, it was nice that he was accountable.
I thought so too. And we see that Lala is there and Sheena and Brock. This is like the first official episode we see them in. Michelle is telling Lala about, what had happened in Santa Barbara with Jesse. And, of course, Lala feels a certain way about it and she's not afraid to say it, right?
Yeah.
And
people
then,
online are not happy they're back.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah.
They don't
it was stupid. Like, Lala, who are you? You're going to, he's on the show. You're not even on the show yet. And you're basically telling him that you don't fuck with him because of how he treated your friend, which I respect that. But was that really a scene we needed to see? And Sheena had nothing to do with it, but saw the camera on Lala and beat feet right over there.
I mean,
like they just want it too bad. They want it too much.
No, I agree. It was a little much. I mean, watching Sheena like scurry over there and just stand there and watch what's going on.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't like Jessie, and I kind of like that she just read him the riot act, and nobody else on the cast was going to do it.
No, that's true. That is true.
And they weren't going to do it because they're all attached to somebody, right? Like Lala had nobody there that she was attached to.
Mm-hmm.
So I was glad she did it. I was okay with it. And even how she put it, like, what if Isabella came home and tells you that, her ex was treating you the way that, you just treated your ex? How would you feel? Like, that's the way to put it. I mean, she had a valid point, right?
Yeah.
So after that happens, then Jessie calls over Jason and lets Jason know that Kristen is going to say something about him. So this I thought was odd that Jason goes up to Zach first. Why would you go up to Zach? Like, are you and Zach close? No, you and Zach are not close.
No, and the funny thing is Jason's asking, what's wrong with this group?
Right.
Your wife started a witch hunt on Danny. That's what this season's about.
Right.
So you're collateral damage now.
Yeah.
She's going after Danny, so now people are looking for shit to go after you for. I mean, you're on a reality TV show. That's the formula.
Yeah, that's it. So Zach obviously says, I don't know. And he walks away, and then he goes up to Luke and Kristen, and, they tell him that the rumor was going around that you take your ring off when you go to bars. And Jason says, never have I done that.
I did like this. And to me, there's certain ways when somebody's telling the truth or lying. Now, whether he does or does not wear his ring, personally, I don't think Jason's cheating on Janet because I think Janet would fucking kill him.
I think so, too.
She'd pull a Lorena Bobbitt on him. And
I totally
think
agree.
He's scared to death of her. But when he said, that's it, that's what you were going to say, I thought I couldn't imagine what it was going to be. Like that reaction to me, I was like, oh, he's doing nothing.
Yeah. No, I agree. He definitely is not doing it. I mean, once again, the fact that Kristen says, well, Jasmine told me this rumor. And then they called Jasmine over. And Jasmine said, well, yeah, it was like 2 years ago. 2 years ago? Are you kidding me?
It.
Yeah. I mean, 2 years ago. So Jasmine, this is what you're bringing to this. You're bringing a rumor that's 2 years old and you're raking Danny over the coals for something that happened last Halloween that he apologized for 55 times.
Right.
What?
Yeah. She's got nothing, Jasmine. She's got nothing.
You need to go, Jasmine. Seriously. You need to go.
She does because She's trying too hard. Like, just be yourself. Like, just show us you with Melissa and living your life. But you're doing too much.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And even Jason's like, in his confessional, he's like, I had this big argument with Danny over your feelings, Jasmine, and you're the one throwing me under the bus?
Yep, exactly.
All right, Jason. I hope your eyes are open. I hope your eyes are open.
How about Janet questioning Kristen about whether or not she's sorry?
Yeah.
No, she's not sorry.
No, no,
Nope.
she's not.
And listen, Janet, by the way, everybody loves Kristen now and can't stand you. So if anybody's getting voted off the island, it's going to be you.
Yep. So true. It's so true. I mean, and Kristen even says to her, listen, you and I haven't been friends for a while. Like, why would I have
Why
your
would I be
back?
sorry? Exactly.
Yeah, no, not happening.
You're coming after Nia and Danny, and I'm
sticking up
returning
for
the
him.
favor.
Yeah. So then Brittany comes out and like gathers everyone around to make an announcement. I thought this was a little strange.
So strange. Like, does anybody really care?
Yeah, that was weird.
Very weird.
She lets them know that, she let Cruz meet up with Jax in the park and that he is renting next to Schwartz's house. And now that she's going to be responsible for the $14,000 a month mortgage, I guess,
That's
as
in
well.
arrears.
Right. Which, yep. As well as her rental payment, whatever that might be. And Sheena's like, you need to meet with a lawyer. And Brittany's like, yeah, I am next week. And, we know that she did. I mean, because she did file for divorce.
Yeah.
Then next we see Jasmine and Brittany are walking into Jax's bar. They go up to the bar, they get shots, and they see the picture of Jax. And
Why would they go to Jax's bar?
I don't know. Maybe it's one of the few places that they can film.
I guess.
I mean, at this point, Brittany wants to give it publicity because she's still getting a piece of it, right?
That's true. That's true.
So you might as well do that. So
Yeah.
she sticks the napkin over his face, and then Schwartz comes in, and Schwartz is telling Brittany that, Jax, Mr. Serene, Mr. At Peace is like a work in progress, through text, not that he spoke to him. And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, then she tells him that she just found out yesterday that he had not paid the mortgage since May. And this is August 15th that she's finding this out. And, both of their names are on the mortgage. She starts crying. And Schwartz is just like, oh, man, like poor Schwartz, like you can't give him this kind of heavy information. Like he can't handle this.
He can't handle this.
This is too
But
much.
I like
for
where
Schwartz.
she's like, it's like $100,000. And I'm like quickly doing the math in my head. I'm like, no, it's like,
I mean, it could be with
$56,000.
But with late fees and penalties.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It could be.
I just don't think she's a big mathematician.
No, she's not. But I'm sure Schwartz was like, because he's actually, believe it or not, he's very smart.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't appear to be, he is very smart.
Not much with the common sense, Schwartzy.
Right. And then she starts crying. I'm going to lose my dream home. I'm going to lose my family. And then Jasmine's like, I'm so mad at him. I'm going to rip his face off the wall. I'm going to rip his name down. And Schwartz is like, I need to get a drink. Like, I can't be a part of this vandalism. Like, again, he's like, how did I get here? Like, what am I doing in this scene?
What was he doing in the scene?
I don't know.
Yeah. He's a loser, Brittany. Cut your ties, move on to the next, which I think she has actually.
Yeah, I think yes. I mean, I don't believe that they are actually divorced yet. I don't know how long it does take in California, but I hope she gets what she deserves. And I hope Jax gets what he deserves, right? But we'll have to wait and see. Until next time, thank you for watching and listening. Bye.
Bye.